Mr. President, I move for the previous motion to recognize the sponsor of the measure, Senator Bato de la Rosa, and to interpellate the distinguished gentleman from the city of Taguig and Pateros, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano. So move, Mr. President.
Our distinguished colleague, the sponsor, former Chief of Police of the Republic of the Philippines, no other than Senator Bato de la Rosa, is recognized. And a distinguished colleague, Senator Alan Cayetano of the city of Taguig and Pateros.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, and it will be an honor and privilege if the former successful Chief PNP and now Senator Bato would allow me to ask some clarificatory questions.
Certainly, Mr. President, Your Honor.
Mr. President, the UP law graduates in the hall would always mention yung kinokote nila parate from a U.S. Supreme Court Justice na nagsasabing the life of the law is not logic but experience. And there's a lot of wisdom there. And definitely reforming the PNP is an all-of-government, all-of-citizens effort. But definitely a Chief PNP who is now a senator, his experience will be invaluable. And I am aware in asking these questions that hindi naman po to all or nothing. Ibig sabihin, hindi naman po pwede talaga sa isang bill ay nandun lahat. Unang-una, a very good reform of the PNP might cost more than 1 trillion pesos. Pag nilagay naman natin lahat yon, baka namang hindi mapasa. Sayang naman yung magagandang provision. Having said that, let me start, Mr. President, with your indulgence lang, Senator Bato.
Yes, Mr. President.
I consulted with the majority leader, and I think Senator Win and Senator Pia, former Senator Pacquiao, no? Doon po kasi sa mga church namin, may tinuturo pagka-reform ang pinag-usapan. Ang tawag po nila ay revival of the heart, reformation of the church, and then, restoration, revival, reformation. So sabi nila, ang tao, pagka nagkasala, unless iibahin mo pag-iisip mo, hindi mare-revive ang heart mo. So kung mali ang heart mo, greedy ang heart mo, covetous ang heart mo, panay bisyo, di ba, sinful, you cannot do reformation in society kasi ikaw mismo gusto mong gumawa ng masama. So it starts with oneself, di ba, yung revival ng heart mo, no? And then, after that, the restoration of the church. Kasi the original church of the Lord Jesus Christ, and I'm not talking about religion, I'm respectful of everyone else's religion, but just talking about the first century church. The first century church kasi, di ba, healed the sick, preached the word, opened their doors, built hospitals, built schools, but somehow, nung tumagal, naging mas religious, pero pumasok na rin ang corruption pati dun sa church. So sabi nila, pag na-revive mo yung heart mo, kasunod na doon yung sa church. And it's only when the church is restored, then you can go out into the public for reformation. Kasi yung corruption in society is a reflection din nung corruption sa church, di ba? So kung panay adulterous yung nasa church, panay covetous, panay idolatry, you expect the same sa society. So I want to draw a parallelism with the PNP, di ba? So even if you have one man PNP or one woman or 1 million man, woman, men and women sa PNP, kung corrupt yung person, corrupt yung buong organisasyon, di ba? Pero kung malinis yung tao, then ang problema, then you go to the church or in this case, the organization. And once the organization is good, I'd like to quote retired General Cesar Binag, no? Sabi nung professor niya abroad, if you reform the police, you reform the whole society. Because sabi niya, the police is actually a microcosm of the whole society. So sabi nung professor niya, pag umikot ka sa buong mundo, isa lang ang titignan mo, yung police. Pag nakita mong respetado ang police, respetado yung gobyerno. Pag nakita mong incorruptible yung police, incorruptible yung gobyerno. Pag nakita mo ang tao ay may takot sa pulis, may takot sa batas. Pero pag nakita mong takot sa pulis as in, baka hold upin sila ng pulis, ganun din ang tingin nila sa gobyerno and everything. No? So, I'll stop there in terms of introduction just to point out that napaka-importanting bill nito. And we definitely support. But, you know, we're hoping really that it will cover a lot. No? So, let me start dun sa questions po sa internal muna, no? Internal. How important, in your experience, dear Senator and former Chief PNP, yung pong yung internal police o yung accountability po, Internal Affairs Service, gaano ka-importante sa organisasyon nyo yan?
It's very important, Mr. President, Your Honor, because the discipline of the police is always kept in check if with the presence of the Internal Affairs Service. So, lahat ng kaso ng police ay ito'y binabantayan ng Internal Affairs Service.
I apologize.
Yes,
I was consulting. I was drawing a parallel kasi between the COA to government and the internal affairs to
PNP.
to the PNP. And I seem to remember that dati hindi constitutional commission ang COA. But okay. So in the 73 nasa constitution na, no. I don't know sa 1935 Constitution. The point is, it's so important that it was made a constitutional provision kasi hindi pwedeng mawala. Meaning, the better the accountability, the better than the organization. Di ba? So, mas effective COA, mas effective cabinet. Mas effective COA, mas effective Senado. Mas effective COA, less corruption DPWH. Mas effective COA, less corruption DepEd, etc. So, in the proposed bill in the committee report, meron po bang strengthening ng Internal Affairs Service?
In this proposed bill, Mr. President, the Internal Affairs Service remains as is, Mr. President.
But how would you describe the present? And I know it will be difficult because this is an organization you love.
Yes.
But minsan yun naman ang maganda po na former kayo, di ba? So, if you ask me, for example, to describe the DFA, I may say some things that are painful, I may also criticize myself, but yun ang maganda na former, galing ka doon. So, in your both experience and analysis po ngayon, ano ang weaknesses, for example, ng internal affairs ngayon?
Right now, Mr. President, I can see any weakness in the Internal Affairs Service as long as the people who are assigned with the Internal Affairs Service are really vetted properly. They are true to their mandate, and they committed themselves pagdating sa kanilang trabaho, Mr. President. Siguro kung ganon ang mga tao sa IAS, then I don't see any reason why mag-proliferate itong mga existence of scalawag policemen, Mr. President.
Well, Mr. President, I understand and I support you. Good people will give you good results. But remember, there are two problems, good people and the system. So even if you put clean fish in the Pasig River, dudumi din. So meaning, for example, Mr. President, more or less, and nandiyan naman po ang technical ng PNP, how much of the total budget ng PNP goes to the IAS? More or less lang po. 1%, 5%, 3%. Mr. President, while they're looking for it,
yes,
can I ask another question?
Yes,
Again, it
Your
may
Honor.
be theoretical or your personal experience, no? For you, Mr. President, would you rather na ang strengthen yung internal affairs or would you rather na meron pong nasa labas ng PNP na nagbabantay sa PNP? So, meaning kung hindi, alimbawa COA, no? COA audits the government, but who audits COA? So, the police polices society, but who polices the police? So, in your experience, would you rather na palakasin yung IAS or mas gusto mong meron organisasyon sa labas ng police na palalakasin ang accountability ng police?
It's better, Mr. President, that we strengthen the IAS.
Yeah, so internal pa rin po. Oo.
Yes, internal.
Would
that's-
you be aware, Mr. President, because I know as Chief PNP, marami kayong conferences with with Interpol and with other Chief PNPs around the world. Ano po ba ang best practice, for example? No, I mean, I don't know how true or hindi. I know Hollywood is quite studious in coming up with movies that depict their police. But let me refer to you. There's a series about anti-corruption on the London police, di ba? I don't know if you watch that, no? And every part of the organization of the London police, meron silang AC, anti-corruption unit, AC1, AC2, AC3, etc. No? And it showed the complexity of how a police will police the police. Meaning hindi madali kasi nagkakaasaran din or nagkakataguan din ng data kasi kung ongoing yung investigation, baka tamaan. O kaya hindi na pro-promote yung nasa IAS kasi nga naaasar yung, halimbawa, inimbestigahan niya yung isang general and yung general na yun naging chief PNP, hindi siya i-promote kasi inimbestigahan siya noon. So I was wondering, and I think the minority leader shares because I asked him ano bang proposal natin sa IAS? Pareho kami ng sagot na ano nga ba ang best practice? Would you be aware or na-discuss nyo ba yun sa mga conference nyo?
Actually, Mr. President, the present setup of our internal affairs system is patterned after the police the pattern after the setup of other police agencies in Europe and in the US, Mr. President.
Well, Mr. President, hindi ko po minamaliit, hindi ko po krinikriticize, but titingnan ko lang halimbawa po yung committee nyo the last year and a half. More or less, ilan ang inimbestigahan nyo regarding police sa public order? Ang very sensational, mga 3-4, di ba?
Around that number, Mr. President. 3 or 4 investigation.
And in all those cases, it wasn't the IAS. It was the Chairman Bato and company who uncovered the anomalies of this police, hindi po ba?
Yes, Mr. President.
By the time na na-discover nyo po yung mali, halimbawa po yung kumuha ng drugs or yung nagsisinungaling sa inyo, was there an IAS report na wala pa?
There's none yet, Mr. President.
Yeah. So since I mean mawalang galang sa IAS, it's not that strong. 'Di ba? Parang Blue Ribbon Kung ang Blue Ribbon ang nakakapag-uncover ng let's say corruption sa laptop sa DepEd or corruption sa DP, etc. Ibig sabihin, hindi ganun kalakas yung internal ng DP, ng DepEd kasi it took a Senate committee to discover it. Kung sasabihin sana natin na 10 ang inimbestigahan ng Committee on Public Order, then sasabihin natin 7 doon, may finding yung IAS, yung 3 wala, then you can say that's the exception But in my 31 years in government, and this is my 3rd term in the Senate, parang hindi pa ako nakakakita na parang, I'm sure yung IAS may nahuhuli. Pero parang wala pa akong nakikita ng malalaking kaso sa PNP or sa AFP na ang nag-expose yung IAS. Compared sa COA, na napakaraming malaking skandalo sa Pilipinas over all our presidents, over mayors, governors, secretaries, pero COA ang naglabas. So, doesn't that show us then that medyo, kumbaga sa sabong, walang tari yung IAS as of now or kulang sa tare. I don't mean to make a comparison because I'm against gambling and cockfighting, but you know what I mean na may joke sa amin sa Pateros paano mo alam kung may tanga sa sabungan pag may nagdala ng pato? Paano mo alam kung may mas tanga kung may tumaya sa pato? Paano mo alam pag may sindikato pag nanalo yung pato? So what I'm saying, Mr. President, it seems that people believe that government is the biggest criminal syndicate in the Philippines. I'm not talking about this government. I'm talking about since high school to now, and kahit ako presidente, ikaw presidente, ang tingin, and it's not only the Philippines, di ba? Even naman, nakikita natin nangyayari sa US, may accusation na may sindikato dito, anak ng presidente ngayon sa US, kinakasuhan. But what I'm saying is that in the same manner that we took pains to strengthen COA, I wonder if in this bill, I don't know if it's people resources, automatic promotion, what can we do para palakasin yung IAS?
Well, Mr. President, hindi na tayo pupunta ng malayo. Since you've been asking me at the start, at the beginning of our interpellation, you've been asking me, per my experience, ano talaga yung problema na nakikita ko. To be honest with you, Mr. President, hindi na tayo pupunta sa malayo. I-compare na lang natin yung armed forces at saka PNP. They have the same settings. Dito sa Pilipinas lang. Titingnan mo yung armed forces, bakit hindi ganun kalaki ang number ng abusadong sundalo as compared to the police? AAP versus PNP. Tingnan natin yung disciplinary mechanism ng bawat ng dalawang ahensya. Ako, alam mo, maraming magagalit sa akin dito kapag sinabi ko dahil ang EAP kasi very less yung political intervention sa kanila. They stayed professional all throughout dahil walang pakialam mga politiko sa kanila kung sinong pwede maging brigade commander, sinong pwede maging battalion commander, sinong pwede magiging company commander. Whereas sa PNP, ang pulis, hindi ka makaupong chief of police kung walang approval sa mayor, hindi ka makaupong provincial director kung hindi ka mapili ng gobernador. Kaya, alam mo, Mr. President, isa yan sa nakikita ko talaga na dahilan. Somehow, we have to take the bitter pill kung gusto natin talagang seryosuhin natin itong pag-reform. But I know, mahirap ito. Maraming nag-uupo sa akin with my proposal na tanggalin na yung political intervention, yung pagpili ng sino pwede maging chief of police. Dapat ang maging ang decision nito, manggagaling na lang sa krami, sa PNP, because the PNP knows kung sino yung meritorious and very fit to handle that position dahil sila ang nakakaalam sa kanilang tauhan. That's how I see it. Sana kung pupwede lang, no? Ganoon talaga. But alam ko, mahirap talaga, Mr. President, na ipurso yan. In all my investigations na ginawa ng aking committee, from the Digamo killing to the ambush of the Vice Mayor of Apari, Cagayan, then to the Misamis Occidental incident wherein the mayor was taken out from his office, Mayor Dumanog. Well, nakikita natin ang interplay talaga ng politics, no, Mr. President. Forgive me, but nakikita ko talaga kung may utang na loob ang isang provincial director o isang chief of police sa pumili sa kanya na makaupo, mahirapan talaga yan kung mabuti sana kung lahat ng politiko ay matino. Pero kung may mga politiko na sira ulo, talagang madadamay talaga ang pulis sa kalukuhan nito mga politiko na ito. Kaya, mas maganda sana, wala na pakialam ang mga politiko dito sa pagpili ng pulis kung sinong paupuin dyan sa pwesto na yan. Para walang utang na loob. Kung may utang na loob ka talaga, minsan may ginagawang kalukuhan yung mayor mo, may ginagawang kalukuhan yung gobernador mo, minsan papikit-pikit ka lang mata, looking the other way ka, the other way around para maiwasan yan. Hindi magalit sa iyo yung politiko. Again, I am not saying that all the mayors, all the provincial governors are masasamang politiko. Meron lang at meron talagang hindi mo talaga, this is not a perfect world. Meron talagang masasama dyan na nadadamay ang pulis. So, actually, sa armed forces, no, wala man silang ganito internal affairs service. Yung kanilang inherent lang sa kanilang units, yung disciplinary mechanism, pero makita mo wala ganong abusado. Pagpili lang, yung mga pag-recruit lang ng pulis, pagpasok ng pulis, ang gugulo ng mga mayor, congressman, ito, papasukin mo itong pulis na ito, baka pwedeng makapasok ito. So, nawawala yung merit system kapag pinapasok ka ng politika. So, yan ang nakikita ko, Mr. President. Pasensya na. Kung
Mr. President,
marami magagalit sa akin.
Just like in church ulit, that's why nga may personal testimonies kasi you can argue with many things with opinion, but you cannot argue with personal testimony. So kung yan ang testimony mo as former Chief PNP, I respect that. And kung nakita mong personal, I respect that. At hindi mo naman nilalahat, no?
Hindi naman lahat, Mr.
Yes.
President.
However, let me point out naman, no? Kasi nung inadapt ako ng isang PMA class, napag-usapan namin yon kasi inexplain sa akin na pwede i-adapt ng buong class, pwedeng i-adapt ka nung police, pwedeng nung militar. And then they were telling me, actually, the day that you're assigned to PNP and AFP, nag-iiba na daw talaga kultura.
Iba talaga.
But it's not only because of the politicians.
Yeah.
For example, it's like comparing DPWH with DOST. Sa DOST kasi, aside from scientists sila, they want to invent something. Yes, engineers want to build something, pero yung talagang halimbawa, yung konteksto ng SOP, wala sa kultura ng DOST yon. Pero nasa kultura na yon ng DPWH by the nature of yung kontratang binibid nila. So, ini-explain sa akin ng mga mista kong militar, kasi yung police, pag may hinuli, may mag-o-offer. So, halimbawa ngayon, hinuli mo sa Pogo, tapos sinabi illegal, tapos may gambling, may mga kotse, may pera. So pag nakuha 50 million, ni-report 5 million lang, may 45 million na ibibigay. Samantalang sa militar, they're not in law enforcement eh. So kung in my experience, no, and Senator Jinggoy was one of those who investigated yung controller dati, ang naging corruption sa AFP was in the conversion. 'Di ba? Kasi doon may pera. Pero sa PNP, from the patrolman na sa traffic na illegal yung terminal, all the way to kidnapping, and during Duterte's time, ilan yung narco cops na sinabi mo. So it's not only the politicians, it's the nature of the job eh. When you're in law enforcement, may corruption talaga dyan, di ba?
Yes, Mr. President, I 100% agree with you.
Okay.
The nature of job of the policeman.
Then just the other side of the coin, ha?
Yes, yes,
Kasi ikaw nag-imbestiga nun, so I honor that, Mr. President. I honor you, Senator Bato. But the other side of the coin, ito actual experience din. So when Lani became mayor, nakiusap, wag munang palitan yung chief PNP. Wag muna palitan yung PNP. Eh dahil mista-mista, hindi palitan, kinausap. Kaya mo ba manghuli ng drugs? Kaya. Wala namang hinuli. Pagpalit na pagpalit, hinuli. Ang hinuli, pamangking buo ng isang Supreme Court Justice, pinsan buo ng dating mayor. May tumawag sa pulis. Pag hindi mo pinakawalan yan in 20 days, marirelieve ka. In 20 days, nirelieve siya ng Southern Police. Tinawagan ko yung head ng Southern Police. Bakit mo nire-relieve yung humuli? Sir, hindi, prino-promote. So sabi ko, saan mo prino-promote? Hindi makasagot. So sabi ko, pare-pareho tayong hindi pinanganak kahapon. umamin, sir, grabe ang pressure sa akin. So makikita mo, yung pressure, yung political, hindi nanggaling sa politiko, ha? So if that mayor, which happens to be my wife, was not given the chance to change her PNP, walang nangyari sa droga. So what I'm saying, Mr. President, is I validate you that yes, may mga politikong nakikialam na may kalokohan, but also vice versa.
Yes, Mr. President.
Meron
I agree with you.
meron mayor at governor. That's why nga there are two built-in mechanisms in the present law. One is the PNP submits 5 names and then pipiliin, 'di ba? The
Yes.
other built-in mechanism which President Duterte used is NAPOLCOM, and I think His Honor Senator Bato used. Pag tingin nyo may kalokohan yung politiko, yung NAPOLCOM can take out the delegated authority of operational control to the mayor or to the governor, di ba?
Remove the deputization.
The deputization, di ba?
Yes.
So yan yung built-in. So
Yes.
again, Mr. President, hindi ko minamaliit. In fact, I honor that point. But wala pa ako doon sa organization vis-a-vis sa society or PNP. Nandun pa lang ako sa personal ng PNP na maramdaman ng PNP na may nagbabantay sa kanya internally. Why do I speak this way? Kasi from the time I entered government, nakita ko yung pagmamature ng COA at Ombudsman eh. From the time that everyone thought that they could get away with highway robbery, wala yang Ombudsman, wala yang COA. Eh ngayon, di ba, kahit yung presidente nag-appoint sa COA, lumalabas yung mga COA report, eh, no? But I'll end there, Mr. President, and I'll just challenge all of us in this room. How can we strengthen IAS? But at the very least, and let me give credit to the staff of the Minority Leader kasi sa kanya tong chart na to. With your permission, Mr. President and Mr. Sponsor, can we show the chart of the present and the proposed na organizational structure? That's my last point na lang sa IAS.
Yes, Mr. President.
So, dun, habang ilalagay po nila, dun po kasi sa current, very clear naman IAS under Chief PNP, pero parang, how do I put it? The right word is not hilaw, parang hindi, kung baga sa bench, hindi stacked with resources and people yung chart ng IAS. Sa bago, hindi namin alam kung ni-retain or binago or nandun pa rin.
The same, Mr. President.
The same pa rin. So, sige, so without showing the same, shouldn't we strengthen that? Shouldn't we add
I agree.
So for example, in terms of crime lab, no, ayaw naman natin na, di ba minsan nag-aaway yung private na autopsy sa autopsy ng gobyerno. But di ba minsan, pag iniimbestigahan mo ay high level na general, di ba? By the way, Mr. President, this and the former Chief PNP and my good friend, the good senator who I know will be re-elected because of these many laws. This strengthening of IAS will also protect policemen.
Yes, Mr. President.
Why do I say that? Kasi marami pong matitinong pulis na pag nanghuli, babaliktarin pa sila. Di ba ho?
Yes, Mr. President.
So pag malakas yung IAS mo at naimbestigahan niya, so I'll not mention it but I'm monitoring a certain case ngayon na ni-raid, tapos may nakuha daw na pera, may nakuha daw na mga prostitute na pogo, hindi daw kinuha ng DSWD, pinakawalan daw kasi traffic daw sila, and then yung pera sinole, pero may isang general na pinagbintangan. And according to the general, baliktad. Siya yung nagsabing ipasok nyo sa ebidensya na kinuha yung pera. No? So, my point is, pag malakas yung IAS, protection din sa inyo yon. Kasi I could imagine a Chief PNP Bato na hindi ganong kalakas ang suporta ng presidente, tapos nagkaskandalo, imbis na panindigan ka, ilaglag ka. But with a strong IAS that will show, sir, hindi lang conclusion ha, you know, all the evidence na sir, hindi ha, binabaliktad ni, or for example, no, in that particular case that I'm mentioning, may mga congressmen daw na tumawag para tumulong dun sa Pogo. Pero parang hindi lumalabas sa investigasyon. Your point exactly.
Yes,
Mukhang
Mr.
may
President.
politika. Di ba? But it is nga because everyone in the police force is also concerned pag binanggit namin. So even ako, nung tinatanong ko yung pangalan, ayaw sabihin yung pangalan ng mga congressman na tumawag, more than one daw But with a very strong IAS, mahuhuli yung nagkasalang pulis, pero maproprotektahan yung matino, no? So, eto po this is the current, no? So, nandiyan po if you're looking at it, nasa kanan niyang internal affairs. Can you show the new one? Again, credit to Senator Coco and his staff, no? So, dun po sa bago, kami o sila po gumawa niyan. But, saan po dyan lalabas ang IAS? Under pa rin po, under the Chief PNP pa rin po, hindi lang nailagay. So for the record, just because the cameras cannot read lips, I showed Senator Bato, our good chairperson and sponsor, what is showed in the screen, and he said hindi lang na-mention pero ganun pa rin yung organizational structure. Tama?
Yes, correct, Mr. President.
Would you think that some kind of change, for example, that IAS would be directly under the Chief PNP but also directly under NAPOLCOM? Or that will weaken IAS? You don't have to answer it now, Mr.
Yes.
Chair. You can study it. But ang point ko po, kung hindi siya ganong kalakas ngayon, and we will just pass the same, dapat palakasin natin.
Yes, Mr. President, I agree with you. And one way of reinforcing the IAS, Mr. President, is we have to attract more quality officers towards IAS. Yung mga magagaling na matitino na mga snappy, dapat pupunta yan sa IAS. Kasi hindi, sa ngayon kasing sit-up, walang kamon, Mr. President. Para bang tingin ng isang opisyal, pupunta ka ng IAS, hindi ka na mag-provincial director, hindi ka na mag-RD dyan, dahil dyan ka na, ma-isolate ka na dyan sa IAS. So, ako, magaling ako na officer, promising yung career ko, bakit ako pupunta dyan? So, dapat gawa tayo ng measures to make IAS very attractive to good officers.
I totally agree with you. And it's not unique, ha? You know, as former Speaker of the House of Representatives, walang gusto mag-ethics committee.
Tama ka, Mr. President.
Diba? Kasi walang gusto na maging pulis ng kasama.
Yes, Mr.
Diba?
President.
Kaya kabaliktaran ng peer pressure to Kung yung peer pressure ay parang napipilitan ka sumama, eto, the nature of your job is to be suspicious ng mga kasama mo. And if you're suspicious ng mga kasama mo, they're suspicious to you pabalik. So, Mr. President, whether it's in the final committee report as with your committee amendments or in the BICAM, may I ask that, you recommend, no, whether promotion is faster there or whether there's more resources?
Or maybe additional remuneration, Mr. President.
Yes.
Just like if you are a licensed pilot, you are a police captain, and you are a pilot, ayaw mong magpiloto ng mga chopper ng police dahil gusto mong mag-chief of police.
Yes.
So, kung merong additional, halimbawa, 10%, 15%, or 20% of the base pay ay idadagdag sa sweldo mo as a pilot, then magiging attractive yung air group ng PNP, Mr. President.
I leave that up to you. Or or halimbawa, Mr. President, kung abogado yung IAS, and let's say ma-burnout siya doon, maybe a provision in law that would easily make him or her na lumipat sa DOJ or sa Office of Ombudsman, di ba?
Yes, Mr. President.
The other thing, Mr. President, is dun po sa independent minority leader, ano tawag dun sa ano? Yung mag-iimbestiga sa Amerika di ba i-appoint ng kanilang Attorney General na independent counsel, no? Meron silang batas na pag na-appoint kang independent counsel, pati funding. So let's say yung nag-imbestiga kay Bill Clinton, di ba? Yung si Starr, di ba? I'd like to see na meron talagang, and of course tayo pa rin naman yon sa budget, no? But baka sa law, there can be a separate budget that if either the DILG secretary or the chief PNP thinks that this case is very important, may automatic pondo para sa investigation yon na hindi pwedeng galawin. Kasi di ba kung gusto ko gipitin yung investigasyon mo, so let's say you were PD of a Mindanao, someplace where there's mining, and then may allegation na may patayan dahil napakalaki ng pera sa ginto, di ba? So agos ang pera dyan. So as an investigator, kailangan mo rin ng pera. Whether it's to buy information or whether it's for the lie detector test or to fly witnesses in, di ba? So maybe certain funding na pag sinabi ng Chief PNP at saka or ng DILG Secretary or ng DOJ Secretary that this is a priority investigation, then you could say, okay, not more, not less, or not more than 5 million, automatically pwede mong gastusin there, di ba? So it's not a personal remuneration sa investigador, but naalala mo yung kanta nung araw, di ba? Yung Kawawang Cowboy, di ba? Yung may barel, wala namang bala. So I think one deterrent to investigators is, investigador ka nga, wala ka naman resources para mag-imbestiga.
That's
Binigyan
true.
ka namin barel, wala namang bala. And then, yung paulit-ulit sinasabi ni President Duterte, sasabihin ko sa iyo, sige, dito ako sa likod mo. Sige, imbestigahan mo. Tapos pag nagkagipitan, wala ka na doon. So that's my second point.
Well, Mr. President, by merely increasing the MOOA of IAS, that will contribute a lot. Malaking bagay na po yan. Kung,
Yes. And
MOOA
again,
lang.
Mr. President, that's on us. But it shouldn't be on us. Baka pwedeng nasa batas din yon.
Yes, Mr.
Di ba?
President.
Oo. So let me leave that and then do we all agree, Mr. President, and may I ask the Chairman, that leadership matters?
Yes, Mr. President.
Yeah. Because may I ask the good sponsor, how long were you Chief PNP?
I've been Chief PNP for 1 year and 9 months, Mr. President.
And would you consider that per se long, short, average?
In today's standards, it's long already, Mr. President.
In today's standards, that's a very good answer and that's very accurate answer.
In today's standards,
But
it's
in the standards of the 1960s, 70s,
long. It's medium
yes,
because the standard is 2 years.
yes,
2 years.
because anything less than let's say 2 years, hindi mo magagawa yung programa mo eh.
That's correct, Mr. President.
And I was looking, Cesar Nazareno, 17 months. Raul Imperial, 9 months. Lahat to po ay mga kagalang-galang na Chief PNP. Humberto Rodriguez, 14 months. Ricardo Sarmiento, 41 months. Santiago Alino, 7 months. Roberto Lastimoso, 11 months. Edmundo La Rosa, but OIC po siya, 5 months. Panfilo Lacson, 14 months. Leandro Mendoza, 12 months. Hermogenes Ebdane, 29 months. Edgar Adlipay, 7 months. Arturo Lumibaw, 16 months. Oscar Calderon, 15 months. Avelino Rason, 11 months. Jesus Versosa, 24 months. Attorney Raul Bacalzo, PhD, 12 months. Nicanor Bartolome, 15 months. Alan Purisima, 26 months. Leonardo Espina, 5 months. Ricardo Marquez, 11 months. Ronaldo Bato de la Rosa, now Senator, 21 months. Oscar Albayalde, 18 months. Archie Gamboa, OIC, 3 months. So, my point is, Mr. Chair, Honorable, isn't it, alam ko mahirap, no? At again, sabi mo nga, maraming magagalit. Pero minsan po, maraming magagalit, pero mas maraming matutuwa kasi tama eh. Kasi sa akin po, napakahirap naman i-propose na, let's say, at least 2 years. Kasi sa 6 na taon na presidente, 3 lang magiging chief PNP mo. Pero the reality is, especially kung, alam mo kung na-appoint ka ng January or December, may input ka pa sa budget kasi dumadaan yan ng DBM na bandang March, April. No? So, nung na-appoint ako ng Mayo na DFA Secretary, panibasa po sa awa ng Diyos dahil galing sa Senado, nahabol ko pa eh. At dahil po sa inyo at mga nandito kay Senator Angara, nadagdagan pa yung budget. So at least kahit napakaikli nung stint ko as DFA Secretary, yung 1 year na yon, naipasok ko yung projects na gusto ko, naayos yung mga problema katulad ng passport. Pero kung na-appoint ako ng July o na-appoint ako ng tapos na dito sa Senado, hindi mo na abutin eh. So for example, the present Chief PNP, kailan po siya magre-retire?
He's extended for 3 months, so it's around March.
March, no? But
March 31,
supposedly
Mr.
this December, no?
Yes,
And,
Mr. President.
you know, so kung sino man papalit sa kanya, unless siya po yung finance o siya yung director for programs, etc., actually, mamanahin niya yung budget ng pananaw nung former chief PNP, di ba? Tapos kung 8 months lang siya o 9 months lang siya, the cycle continues. Samantalang kung 2 o 3 years ka, so let me put it another way, di ba? Comes with power or authority is responsibility and accountability. But it's so hard to hold someone accountable na hindi naman natin binigay yung authority sa kanya in the first place. So yes, we give him the authority as Chief PNP, but parang mo sinabing suntukan tayo, Chief PNP ha, pero pupusasan ko yung isa mong kamay. Tapos tatakpan ko yung isa mong mata. Tapos lalagyan ko ng hollow block yung isa mong paa, no? So, you know, would the sponsor, and sorry to put you on the spot, no, pero ikaw po talaga kasing may experience dito eh. Would the sponsor be inclined to put a minimum period, with of course with the colotilla that the president can fire for cause, for any reason, anytime naman yung Chief PNP, no?
Yes, Mr. President, I am very much supportive of that idea. In fact, in the proposed measure, Mr. President, kasama po yan dito. The chief of the PNP shall be appointed by the President from among the senior officers down to the rank of Police Brigadier General, provided that the chief of the PNP shall serve a fixed term of office of 2 years and shall be compulsorily retired at the maximum tenure in position herein prescribed or is otherwise relieved from office by the President, provided further that the present chief of the PNP shall not benefit from the fixed term provided herein and shall be compulsorily retired upon reaching the compulsory retirement age.
Yes. Again, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, I congratulate you for that. Alam ko pong controversial kasi, di ba, ako po man ay pulis ngayon, mangangarap din ako maging Chief PNP eh. And kung alam mo, magkaklase kami, pare-pareho kaming magagaling, hindi ba pwedeng 8 months ako, 12 months ka, Senator Coco, tapos baka mas magaling ang babae sa atin, so baka 16 months si Senator Risa or mas meron siyang sensitivity sa pangangailangan ng pulis. Pero on the other hand, pag hinati namin tatlo, iba talaga personality namin tatlo at iba talaga ang ano eh, di ba? Pwede kami sagutin ni Senator Risa. Hindi, matagal ako hindi dahil babae ako, dahil mas magaling ako. So, but that's the point eh. Parang napaghahatian yung term because nga pare-pareho kaming nag-aambisyon. But I'm not saying wala pong merit ha, yung mga napipili. So, sa CA po, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, hindi tayo nagko-confirm ng general ng AFP kung magre-retire siya ng less than 1 year. Less than 1 year ata eh. Oo, hindi na eh.
Yes, sir.
So maybe we can also look into that na baliktad, na pagka pa-retire ka na, kaya lang kasi may konting kultura ang PMA, di ba? Na kapag ka na-appoint is underclass, magre-resign yung mga upper class. Pero kung hindi ako nagkakamali, paubos na naman yon, PNPA na ngayon eh.
Well,
does the PNPA have the same culture o hindi?
Well, Mr. President, that culture is not always followed or it's not really.
But to you PMAers, it's a matter of honor or respect.
Oh no,
eh,
Mr.
diba?
President, but
Oo.
when I became the chief PNP, I am class 86, General Magalong, General there were General Oyami, there were I think 4 or 5 class 82. Hindi ko nga inabutan sa PMA yun, Mr. President. Dahil lang inabutan ko sa PMA is class 83. But for all intents and purposes,
So, mas galit ka
tinanong
sa-
ko sila na, sir, okay lang sa inyo mag-serve under me.
Oo.
And they told me that walang problema.
Yes.
We will help you. We will guide you. Sabi nila. So, hindi po sila nag-resign. They serve under me, Mr. President, as my deputy chief.
Yeah.
So, tinulungan nila ako, Mr. President.
Well, again, congratulations. And that's the way it should be naman, di ba? Because that's not an insult to them eh.
Yes,
It's
Mr.
just a
President.
circumstance na nangyari. Di ba? But sometimes kasi it's interpreted by some that way. But I'll leave that subject, Mr. President, in the interest of time. May I go now to the ratio of police to the public. So, senators are blessed because part of our job is learning and part of our job is meeting other parliamentarians and sometimes traveling. So, I noticed there are countries like Singapore, ang hirap hanapin ng pulis. Pero walang crime. For 2 reasons, no? One, may CCTV everywhere, so even if walang police, they see you. Number 2, ang tingin talaga ng Singaporeans, mahuhuli ka. It's a matter of time. Of course, there are geographical explanations, di ba? Mas maliit sila and everything. So, then you have Japan, which is almost the same. Mahirap humanap ng police, pero may tourist police. Pero they're less there para maghabol ng kriminal. They're more there to assist the tourist. On the converse, you have people like, you have countries like the US, nakita mo en masse yung police. Na talagang may police car everywhere, pagka may rally, nandyan lahat ng police. Then you have yung nag-evolve, no? I remember may nagsiskateboard sa The Fort, Taguig, sa BGC. Bawal mag-skateboard dun sa pedestrian area na yon. Nakipagtalo sa security guard. Long story short, naging rowdy, gusto makipagsuntukan, dumating yung ibang security guard, kinuha. So yung ambassador ng Britain at that time, this was quite some time ago, I always respect all the ambassadors, but at this particular one, parang nagalit pa siya. Sabi niya pa, bakit kayong mga Pilipino, security guard, police, may barel? Kami sa UK, nagpapatrol, wala. Okay? Less than 2 years later, the series of terrorism, nag-arma na rin sila. So, at that time, gusto kong balikan yung ambassador na yon na wala na sa Pilipinas to tell him na, sir, cultures are different and times change eh. So, nung walang terrorism sa UK and when everyone followed the law, pwede talagang kabayo at batuta. Sino ba naman may ayaw? Mas gusto ko na yung gwardiya sa atin, pito lang at saka batuta, di ba? Pero kung yung kriminal may kutsilyo, kung yung kriminal ay may kotse na mabilis, kung yung kriminal ay may sniper na barel, tapos ang pulis wala, no? So the point I'm making, Mr. President, is in your view and your experience, which of the two types is mas akma sa Pilipinas? Should we spend heavily in technology and be like the UK na may Big Brother na everywhere merong CCTV and we have less police presence? Or tingin mo sa kultura ng Pinoy, dapat nakakalat talaga at may mga naka-uniforme everywhere?
I think, Mr. President, Your Honor, it should be a combination of both.
So somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between. Yeah, I mean, in one of the ASEANAPOL conferences, I met the chief of police of Singapore, and I told him, why can I rarely see a policeman walking the beat in your city? And he told me that because we invest more in technology. Maybe you cannot see a policeman right now, but there are policemen monitoring all the CCTVs around. And if you commit a crime, you will be surprised that a policeman will just arrive anytime.
And the certainty, Mr. President, na mahuhuli ka.
Yes,
Kasi,
Mr. President.
di ba mahilig tayo minsan, whether Grab, Uber, Angkas, or taxi na, boss, pahintay sandali. So I tried that once, long time ago sa taxi sa Singapore. Sabi ko, I'll just get something sa lobby. Can you wait? Said no. Like, I'll give you extra. No. Then na-curious lang ako. So sabi ko, do you mind to explain why? Sabi niya, no waiting, fine $200 Singapore dollars. There's a camera. So even if you give me $100, lugi pa daw siya ng $100, no?
Hindi pa kasama ang kwan doon, Mr. President. Yung caning. Yung caning, yung
Oo.
papaluin ka.
So it's the certainty na mahuhuli in combination with yung penalty masakit sa kanya.
Yes, Mr. President.
So sa atin kasi sanay tayo na parang kulong yan 1 year. Ayaw sumunod. So gawin natin 5 years. Pero wala rin nangyayari. Kaya nga pagdating for example sa perjury, kaya marami nagsisinungaling sa hearing sa Senado kasi naniniwala sila na kahit umalis sila dito, 'di ba? Hindi sila makakasuhan, 'di ba?
But in fairness, Mr. President, in the recent hearings that we had, marami tayong kinontempt na lying.
That's precisely,
Yes.
no? Maraming laing in 2 places in the Senate. Sa canteen when they serve laing, dahil maraming Bicolano dito, and in the committee hearings. Okay? I agree with you. The difference is this, yung contempt po is temporary,
Yes.
and we have to catch them. Sa US Congress po, yung Attorney General or DOJ ang magkakaso sa kanila, and it's a criminal penalty. So kulong sila sa kulungan. Of course, nagpapakulong tayo sa Pasay City Jail, di ba? But ang point ko, ramdam mo naman na pag hindi mo pa sinigawan, pag hindi mo pa niyugyug ng konti, di ba? So, remember, they have the right to remain silent.
Yes, Mr. President.
So, they have the option not to lie. Because they have the option to, I have the right not to incriminate myself, so wag magsalita. But no, they choose sometimes to
Lie.
spin a story because they feel not only can they get away with the crime, but they can also get away with the lying. Which is also a point I want to make, but separate, hindi dito sa PNP organization, di ba? Pag na-strengthen natin yung subpoena powers ng police at yung investigatory na, halimbawa, hindi ka nga guilty sa crime na yon, pero nagsinungaling ka sa investigasyon na yon. Di ba? So, halimbawa, may inimbestigahang kidnapping or robbery, tapos sinabing, nakita mo ba yung dinukot na yon? No sir, hindi ko nakita. Tapos may napakita kang CCTV, nakatingin kang ganyan, nandyan sa harap mo kinuha, kitang-kita mo, inaagaw yung bata, sinakay sa van, di ba? So right now, siguro obstruction of justice yon, di ba? But, you know, it's not automatic, it's hard to do, mag-a-attend pa rin ng yung witnesses. So, you know, I can go on and on as a lawyer. I'm preaching to the choir kasi yun ang frustration ng mga police, di ba? Nahuhuli nila, tapos minsan nauna pa sa kanila sa kalye yung hinuli nila. But to my point, so if you believe that it's in the middle, what is the present ratio prescribed by the present law and what is the actual ratio? Disregard muna natin yung bagong batas. So sa old law, it's 1 to 3,000 ba? 1 to
1:500, Mr.
1 to
President.
500. And ano yung present ratio? Ilan ba ang police natin ngayon?
malapit nating ma-match yung ideal ratio, Mr. President. Because the current police to population ratio is 1:525. So malapit na tayo sa ideal police to population ratio.
Yes, Mr. President, but that statistic could be a little bit deceptive because that includes my reading, yung 1:500 yung in the field. Para nga kita mo, hindi yung mga nasa opisina or nagsa-security or mga attaché and everything. So, would it be a good amendment na ang gawin natin ratio is 1:500 but the 500 will refer to policemen actually
On the streets.
actually in the field or kung ano man ang tamang term?
Yes, correct. Correct, Mr. President. I agree with you, Mr. President.
Yeah, so no illusion, Mr. President, na kailangan ng budget yan. But it didn't stop us in the old law to say 1:500 kahit na alam natin kulang pa ang pera. When this law was passed, magkano budget ng Pilipinas? Parang 250 billion, tapos kalahati lang ang sweldo ng police o 1/3, di ba? With the salary standardization, with yung ginawa po natin lahat to God's grace nung panahon ni President Duterte na doblehin, mas mahal na ngayon. But I think it's just like the teachers Sasabihin nila 1:40, pero actually it's 50 students and then 3 shift and then may administrative job yung isa. So may you consider that, Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, na let's keep it at 1:500 but we're referring to one in the field for every 500 Filipinos, di ba? Or 500 population, so that includes foreigners. Yung computation po ba natin ngayon, 1:500, Pilipino lang or pati foreigners?
Including foreigners, Mr. President.
Oo. Tama ba yon? Kasi there are 200, ilan po ang pulis ngayon? 230. Kasi 110 million Filipinos, 10 million Filipinos abroad.
I stand corrected, Mr. President. Foreigners are not included.
Oh, so
one policeman per 500
Yes.
population. So Philippine population.
nakalimutan ko na kung sino nagsabi nito, but favorite ko tong quote. I don't know kung kay Mark Twain, but favorite quote ko to about statistics. Statistics is like a bikini. What it shows is revealing, but what it hides is essential. Diba? So when you say, malapit na tayo mag 1/500, yung pala, mali pala yung base. Kasi there's almost what? There's almost 150,000, 200,000 Koreans in the Philippines. Oh, there's more than 100,000 Indians, and if you consider Filipino Indians, almost another 200,000, di ba? At in 1 year, there is 1 million Japanese and 1 million Korean tourists, almost 1 million Chinese, di ba? So pag sinama mo lahat to, bababa yung ratio. Ang intention o spirit ng law, yung sa kalye, na every 500 na tao makita mo, may kita mong isang pulis kasi deterrent siya. Pag nakita mo yung uniforme, nakita mo forma, nakita mo yung tsapa niya, nakita mo yung police car, di ba? Which goes to my last point regarding this. Shouldn't we also have other symbols of visibility? For example, police cars, vehicles, or outpost. Kasi, di ba, let's say you talk about tourist areas, you talk about Greenbelt in Makati, you talk about Mega Mall in Mandaluyong and sa yung shopping center sa Green Hills, you talk about BGC Fort Taguig, di ba? Kung makikita mo na may 2 pulis, 3 pulis, 4 na pulis sa harap ng market, may 4 na pulis sa SM Ora, pero pag nakita mo na may police station doon, or makita mong may 5 police car, or parang di ba sa sunog, hindi naman parating may sunog, pero pag nakita mong ang gaganda ng fire trucks at nandun, it gives you confidence na pag may nangyari, nandiyan ka agad yan.
Yes,
diba?
Mr. President.
So, I know this is more symbolic and it's more, what's the right word, no? It's more confidence building. But I think it's part of the reform. It will help the PNP sa visibility kung makita. So look at the Senate, di ba? Pag tumingin ka sa likod, meron page na maganda forma. Pag nakita mo dyan, may page, may page. Pag punta ka sa likod, may page. So the senators feels that kahit anong mangyari dito, actually outnumbered sila eh. Kung susugurin tayo nung lahat ng mga nandito, di ba, wala namang baril yung mga page, and 24 tayo, they cannot lahat ng mga nandito. Di ba, wala namang baril yung mga page, and 24 tayo, they cannot help all of us at the same time. But the seeing them there anytime, naka-break tayo, naka-jump pa rin, di ba, gives us the confidence na alagang-alaga kami dito sa session hall. No? So, may I propose also that we somehow put in the law, di ba, that there should be conscious effort, budget, resources for symbols and visibility of the PNP all around the country, whether it be ports, seaports, airports, tourism places, mga liblib na lugar, di ba? Of course, you have checkpoints, pero yung checkpoints minsan both positive and negative, di ba?
Yes, Mr. President, I am willing to accept any amendment to that effect, Mr. President.
Yes. Actually, Mr. President, dahil mas alam mo naman yan at ng staff mo at ng mga kabaro mo sa PNP, di ba? I mean, I'm more than willing to craft it,
Yes.
but what I'm avoiding lang is that it all falls down to budget, and then pag budget period, iba priority natin, di ba?
Yes,
So total, magre-reform na rin tayo. Again, can I quote one more time? No? See, I've been working lately with General Cesar Binag and yung Bless Our Cups, and there are other organizations, di ba, of different groups in the PNP. Ang ganda po ng kanilang philosophy. Sabi nila, if you minister to the family nung PNP member, no? Nare-reform yung person, nare-reform yung buong PNP. So in fact, Senator Pia, myself, Mayor Lani, and we'd like to invite you, Senator Bato, on the 19th, we're going to sponsor 3,000 members of the PNP family sa NCRPO sa Camp Bagundiwa. I live just behind. We're going to put mga inflatables, tapos mga pagkain, ganyan. Kasi sabi nga nila, pagka yung mga anak, bilib sa nanay o tatay, pag yung mga anak nakita yung kampo, nakita ng mga anak na hindi naman yung pulis parati sumasaludo sa senador o sa congressman, mayor, pero yung mayor, congressman, senador sumasaludo pabalik sa pulis, you know, it inspires, di ba, the reform, and it also, of course, reminds all of us that in the end, di ba, what are we doing this for God and for our family. Pero pagka sira ang pamilya ng pulis or maraming pamilya ang pulis, same sa politiko, di ba, apektado. So I was wondering, is there something we can put in the law, di ba? Is it, I don't know if it's housing, whatever, or ganyan, that, you know, strengthens encourages the policeman to stay in the police force because he will be able to provide for his family if he stays in that police force.
Yes, Mr. President, I agree with you. And I would like to thank you personally from the bottom of my heart for that undertaking that you're going to have on the 19th of December. Thank you for
actually,
that.
I'd like to thank you dahil doon din namin sa police nakuha yung idea, di ba? Tumutulong din lang kami. But again, may I throw that to all of us, di ba? Sa US po, yung retirement fund mo, pwede mo ilagay sa Senator Atipia, what do you call that? 401k. So ibig sabihin, yung hinuhulog mo sa SSS, pwede mo sabihin, hindi ko ihuhulog dyan. Ihuhulog ko yan sa stocks. Pag tumaas, jackpot ka kasi mas malaki retirement mo. Pag bumagsak, mas maliit. Kung hindi ako nagkakamali, correct me if I'm wrong, ang isang pangarap ng pulis, magkaroon ng sariling bahay.
Yes, Mr. President.
Ang problema, in the past, ang ginagawang bahay ng gobyerno para sa pulis, hindi mo talaga titirahan. At hindi mo mabebenta ng mahal. So what if part of your retirement pay can go or imamatch ng pag-ibig or whatever into housing? And for as long as you retire, hindi ka dishonorably discharged, di ba? So kung 20 years or 25 years ka na sa serbisyo, part of your retirement is going to the house, pag nag-retire ngayon, halimbawa ho ang isang general, magkano ba nakukuha?
Kanong magkukuha ngayon?
Ano lang ho, ballpark? 5 million?
Around that figure, Mr. President.
Okay.
For me, I receive 13 million.
13 million. Kasi Chief
13.
Chief PNP.
Four-star general.
Yeah, okay. 4-star General, Chief PNP, 13 million. Ang 13 million po ngayon, wala si Senator Villar, tatanungin ko sana magkano ang per square meter sa mga subdivision ngayon eh. But would it be fair to say that in Metro Manila, pag subdivision, it's anywhere between 15,000 square meters to 15,000 per square meter to 100,000 per square meter kung ano. So a 13 million peso one time for the highest sa police, no? I guess pag lower sa'yo, let's say pag 1 star, lalo pag colonel o major, baka kalahati yun, no? Mga 5 million. So ang point ko, ang 5 million will be a comfortable but not that big a house. Not that big a lot. It'll probably be a studio kung condominium, and it will not be in a central business district, di ba?
Yes, Mr.
But if you're allowed, for example, to start putting your retirement there, and let's say after 5 years of good service, tatapatan ng Pag-ibig or ng GSIS or whatever yung loan, at makautang ka na ng 5 million pag nag-uumpisa ka, by the time you retire, yung 5 million mong bahay will probably be worth, ngayon kasi halos doble kung tama yung bili mong lugar eh. So kung at the 5th year makautang ka, if you retire after 20 years, yung 5 million mo naging 10, naging 20, yung 20 naging 40. I think you would have rather retired with a 50 million peso house rather than with 13 million peso cash. Di ba? And of course, again, that's your choice. That's not, I'm not imposing that every policeman would put it in housing. I'm saying, it might be a good example. Baka sabihin ng GSIS, Pag-ibig, hindi namin kaya sa lahat. Oh, but what did President Duterte tell us? Peace and order is fundamental. Unahin mo yung police, susunod yung iba. Di ba? So may I put forward that proposal and just for your committee staff to think about it. What areas of being a police kasama po sa benefits ang mas-strengthen yung pamilya? Kasi yung pamilyang may sariling bahay, may security, may pinaglalaban, it will also prevent yung anomalya. Kasi pwede mong kulatilya dyan na kapag ka ikaw ay na-convict, di ba, of a crime in the performance of your duty, mafo-forfeit yung benefits mo, di ba?
Yes, Mr. President. That's a very good idea, Mr. President. We will study that further.
Okay, the only other thing I have here na I think I should mention, the other naman na babanggit nung iba, we in working with churches, ang difference ng pastor sa pare, ang pare, especially pare na let's say Roman Catholic Church or kaya ng Aglipay, di ba? Meron kasi silang international organization eh. And then meron silang bishops, etc. So kapag isang pare nagkasala, hindi mo i-accuse lahat ng pare kasi nga madidisiplina ka agad ng bishop. And then meron silang uniform, di ba, na mga procedure. Ang pastor, hindi ganon. So, when working with a certain pastor, sabi nga niya, alam mo, nakita ko, isa sa kailangan gawin ng mga pastor is gumanda yung stature nila sa community. Kasi kung maganda yung stature nila, yung tinuturo nila, papakinggan. Papakinggan ng mayor, papakinggan ng congressman, papakinggan ng chief of police, papakinggan ng barangay captain. Pero kung yung stature nila ay hindi maayos, di ba? Then you're just like any other one preaching something good. Pero we should listen to the message, no? It shouldn't be the messenger. But dahil tao po tayo, di ba? It's sometimes the messenger. I tell my wife that all the time. So pag ate ko nagsabi sa asawa ko, sabi niya, tama yan ate. Pero pag ako nagsabi, hindi tama. Pag yung pastor namin nagsabi sa asawa ko, sabi, pastor, tama yan. So sabi ko, ba't pag ako nagsabi sa iyo? Parang hindi. No? Dinadaan ko sa biro, pero sometimes it's the messenger, di ba? So, what can we do in this law? as part of the reform sa PNP to help the members of the PNP from the lowest rank to the highest rank, even for the non-uniform, no, for the civilian employees, if we can call them that, no, or the administrative employees. What can we do? It's a rhetorical question in the sense that I leave it up to your staff na iakyat ang kanilang stature. One thing I would propose is to look at the curriculum and to look in the DepEd, how do we teach our children about yung police? Kasi ang problema, I think nagreklamo kayo, di ba, nung or it was Chief PNP Albayalde. Were you already in the Senate nung nagreklamo kasi dun sa depiction ng probinsyano, meron parang masamang depiction sayang wala si Senator Lapid ngayon, pero I mean nandyan sa likod pero wala dito. So, in Singapore, a main problem of Lee Kuan Yew was the racial harmony. And sabi niya, pagka ang armed forces at saka police, hindi natin mababalanse yung population. Ang problema natin, pag may riot, madadamay, sino magsosolve, di ba? So meaning, kung yung armed forces at saka yung police nila, maganda yung ratio ng Singapore Chinese, Singapore Indians, ng Kristiyano, ng Buddhist, ng Hindu. Pagka nagka-riot, sila mismo magkakatulungan, di ba? Pero kapag yung police ay, halimbawa, walang Chinese Singaporean sa police, majority Chinese police, Chinese Singaporeans yung residents, magkakagulo. And when they took a survey, they found out that yung Chinese Singaporeans napakababa ng tingin nila sa police at ng militar. So ang ginawa ni Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew, of course, the great Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew, he gave the assignment to DepEd. Sabi niya, DepEd, I'm giving you 10 years na magbago ang paningin ng lipunan, lalo na ng next generation, sa police at saka sa militar. And after 10 years, gumanda ang recruitment ng Chinese Singaporeans in both, no? So let me just make that statement proposal na when we talk about stature, no, we're not talking about artificial stature, di ba? I mean, we cannot legislate that people gumanda tingin sa senador, di ba? But we can pass rules. Pwede natin sabihin dito, Mr. President, hindi pwede dito lengguwahe ng tabloid, ha? Kasi hindi pwede dito parang mga palengkero. Dito, Mr. President, I cannot address, even if Senator Bato is such a good friend, I cannot say, hoy Bato, or hoy pare, or hoy sir. I have to address the Senate President, then address you, di ba?
Yes, Mr. President.
Properly. So, I think there are things we can do in the law, to make sure that the stature of police and symbols that are important to the police are not only espoused, protected, di ba? Kasi, for example, yung tsapa, di ba? Kaya nga bawal na may mga peking tsapa eh. Kasi pag marami, hindi lang napepeke yung police, bumababa tingin ng tao, imbis na pagtingin nila, it's a thing of honor. Di ba? I remember, bago akong congressman, everyday sinusuot ko yung pin. And then may nag-mass produce, pati staff. So, dun sa loob ng elevator, lahat na kami meron pin. I mean, okay lang ba? Diba? Or minsan naaabuso, di ba? Nilalagay yung sticker, House of Representative o Senate sa kotse para hindi hulihin ng pulis. Di ba? So minsan naaabuso din eh. So, Mr. President, we are blessed because the sponsor is proposing this. Kumbaga yung hugot nito ay from personal experience, from a life of spending his career from the PMA to reaching being a 4-star general, and now even facing the consequences of some of his actions by being persecuted sometimes and attempted to be prosecuted sometimes. But having said that, I'd like to congratulate you for that. Marami pa akong gustong sabihin pero limited yung time, and the minority leader has precedence over this. But yun nga po, no, hindi natin maipapasok lahat sa batas, but ang tingin ko po kapag yung revival of the heart ng pulis, yung kanyang pamilya, yung kanyang stature, ay medyo napaganda natin, and then napaganda natin. Let me just summarize those 3 points. No? Yun nga po, yung stature ng police, sweldo, allowance, sasakyan, bahay, yung pamilya niya. And then number 2, yung accountability, di ba? Yung internal affairs, di ba? Then number 3, yun nga, yung kanyang career. Kasi pag nag-retire siya, yun na lang ang hindi ko masyadong inano. What can we do? I'm not sure if I filed it this Congress. May bill ako before na pag-retire mo ng 56 or 57, pero gusto mo pa sa gobyerno, pwede mong kunin yung retirement mo, pero pwede ka ring i-absorb ng departamento. So kung engineer ka, nag-retire ka, hindi ako nagkakamali, sa PMA, lahat kayo you have a Bachelor of Science degree, di ba? Or
Yes, Mr. President.
an engineer. No, so when you retire at 56, 57, you get your retirement, you can rest for 6 months, 1 year. But if you're an engineer, you can join DPWH, you can join DOTR, you can join NSJ, di ba? Or if you're if you're a lawyer, you can join the DOJ or you can join corporate counsel, no? So, or if you want to go to the private, choice mo yon. No?
Yes,
But yun yung point ko, no? Na from the education, from PNPA, all the way to the years you're gonna spend to your retirement, dapat tignan natin to make sure, di ba, na ma-reform talaga. Because tama po yung teacher ni General Binag na makikita yung society pag nakita po yung sa police. And it's unfair for politicians to just blame the police because 51% of what the police are is what let me end with that. Kung anong ating itatanim, yan ang ating anihin. So kung sa batas na to, magtatanim tayo ng tamang resources, tamang batas, tamang protection sa ating mga pulis, maganda din na anihin natin. Pero kung medyo kuripot po tayo sa batas na to sa ibibigay natin sa pulis, let's not expect na maganda din yung reform sa kanila. Mr. President, Mr. Majority Leader, thank you for this opportunity. Senator Bato, again, my respect and thank you for your patience for these questions and these suggestions.
Yes, Mr. President, I would like to thank also the good gentleman from Taguig for his very valuable inputs. Actually, kung mahaba pa rin sana ang time natin, I am willing to listen to your inputs the whole day, Mr. President. They are very valuable. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my distinguished colleague, Senator Cayetano.